All right, everybody, welcome back. You ever been so sure of something you'd bet the farm on it? And then, bam, totally wrong.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, well, today we're diving into a time that happened to, like, the whole country. The 1948 U.S. presidential election.
Oh, this is a good one. Talk about a political shocker.
You know the picture, right? Harry S. Truman, grinning ear to ear, holding that newspaper. Dewey defeats Truman, plastered across the front page.
Classic. And it wasn't just some close call. Everyone and their dog thought Dewey had it in the bag.
So, paint us a picture. Post-World War II America, what's the vibe?
Well, Truman, he's the incumbent, right? But stepping in after Roosevelt's death, not exactly a popularity contest winner. Country's kind of ready for a fresh start.
And your stage right, Thomas Dewey.
Governor of New York, polished, experienced, pretty much the golden boy. Seemed like the obvious choice for a lot of folks.
Everyone just assumed he'd win. But that's where things get really interesting.
Yeah, that assumption led to some, let's say, premature celebrations. Newspapers itching to be first. They printed headlines declaring Dewey the winner before all the votes were even counted.
Oh, man. Talk about awkward. Was that, like, normal back then? Jumping the gun with headlines?
Not exactly common, but it shows you how overconfident everyone was. And remember, polling was still kind of new then. Those early methods, often relying on telephone surveys, they tended to miss a big chunk of Truman's support.
Who are they missing?
The working class. They didn't have as many phones back then, so the polls, they were skewed towards wealthier folks, didn't really capture the whole picture.
So while everyone's busy crowning Dewey, what's Truman doing?
Fighting like crazy, hit the campaign trail hard, crisscrossing the country by train, the famous whistle-stop tour.
Now that sounds like a scene. Truman pulling into these small towns, connecting with everyday people. Was that typical campaigning back then?
Traveling by train, yeah, more common then. But Truman's approach, it was different. Not just giving these rehearsed speeches at big rallies. He was having real conversations with voters, hearing their concerns.
Like on the ground, really connecting.
Exactly. This ground game, grassroots mobilizing, it turned out to be incredibly powerful.
Kind of reminds me of today's retail politics. Candidates going door to door, shaking hands, that personal touch.
Definitely parallels. Technology's changed the game, of course, but that fundamental principle, connecting with people one-on-one, it still matters. A lot.
And in Truman's case, it made all the difference. He wins, against all odds. 303 electoral votes to Dewey's 189. And that photo, him with the Dewey defeats Truman headline, became a symbol.
Oh, yeah, iconic. A reminder that in politics, maybe in life in general, don't count your chickies before they hatch. Nothing's certain till it's over.
So, any big takeaways? What can we, the everyday folks, learn from this whole Truman upset?
Well, first, polls and predictions, they're helpful, but they're not crystal balls. Public opinion can change. Second, never underestimate a good ground game. Whether it's business, advocating for something, even convincing your friends to try a new restaurant. Direct engagement, it's powerful.
Makes sense. Hard work, genuine connections, those can beat the odds. Anything else to chew on from this deep dive?
Yeah, probably the most important thing. Don't take anything for granted. Life's full of surprises. That's what keeps things interesting.
Couldn't agree more. So next time you're super sure of an outcome, remember Harry Truman and that newspaper. Stay curious, question your assumptions. The future, it's wide open. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Anytime.